Okay, so this will be the first series of our mobile app development using Thunkable platform. So it's a browser, online browser based platform. So once you have opened up your browser, so I'll try to enlarge my browser. So what you can actually search for is you can actually type Thunkable. So once you type Thunkable, so in your search result, you will see Thunkable as your first search result. You are able to see that? So please click on Thunkable, and this will be the landing page of Thunkable. So Thunkable allows you to build mobile apps without coding. So it uses a block diagram. So since all of you are first semester students and currently all of you are learning C programming, right? Is that your first programming language that you are learning? Some of you have learned programming language before. What languages have you learned? Python, very good. And JavaScript, that's good. So if you want to develop a very good customizable phone app, then JavaScript knowledge is a must, and at the same time Swift for iOS operating system. So but Thunkable is on the entry level, it's beginners level, so it becomes easy. We just try to see the logic behind it, and you don't have to be concerned so much about the programming language. So there is, if you see on the top right hand corner, there's a login option here. So click on login. Mine automatically logged in into my Gmail. For you, I think it will prompt up login. So you can choose to log in using your Gmail account or your Apple account or any other account. You're not seeing that in my page because I've logged in, so automatically it logs into my. So you can see on the right hand side, top corner is my profile, my Gmail profile. So this is the Thunkable landing page. Currently you see is Thunkable free. So previously they allow up to 10 projects free. So I just realized this morning they reduced it to 3. So which meaning it's a strategy for you to subscribe to the plan. So it's okay. We will actually use the free version. We can actually have up to 3 projects free version. Is everyone here on this page already? So let us now, you see on create new project. Do you see this button on the top right? So click on create new project. For those who came late just now, today's attendance is based on the output that you did for the workshop. So if you're not showing the output for the workshop, your attendance is 0. So click on create new project. Then you have this pop-up page. So what shall we name our project name? So maybe you can put as my first app. Which one? After you log in, there is create new project. Has everyone clicked on create new project? Not yet. How many of you not yet click on new project? Can I see a show of hand? So everyone have opened the new project now. Okay, yeah? So everyone here on the new project. So let's give a name for this new project, my first app. And you need to select a category. So maybe just can put this as entertainment or things like that, just any one of the tag. Currently, if you see in terms of privacy, by default we set to public. If you want to set to private, then you have to subscribe. So make sure that there is no tick sign here. Make sure clearly it's empty. Now you click on create. So when you click on create, you'll come to this page. This is your workspace, your entire workspace. By the by, did you all install the Thunkable Live in your phone? So because we will use that Thunkable Live. So let us explore the workspace. So you can see here Thunkable is free. Is everyone able to see? Large enough, right? So currently we have two tabs, design and blocks. So we are currently in the design layout. And on the left top here, this is what we call as the component tree. So whatever component that you have added, you'll be able to see it here. Currently there's only, you can see that there's a name of your app, my first app that you created, and there's one component by default which is known as screen 1. So by default you will see screen 1 as your default component. Then later as we add on items, you can see all those list of components. Is that okay? Then below it, these are the place, this is what we call as the components palette. So you can search for all the components that you want to actually add and drop. So you can search it here. So that is this component palette. In the middle is your screen. So you're able to preview your screen from here. Then you can see how the items been added. So you can see this looks like your phone, right? Phone layout. And on your right is the property of each component that you have selected. So currently you see the screen 1 is component is selected, right? So on the right here you will see the property for screen 1. Is that okay? So let's go under the components. So under the components, if we scroll down, currently you can see the first category is user interface. The second one is layout. So what is this layout? So if you see, if you bring your cursor on top each component, do you see this as question mark? So if you click on question mark, it will give you a description about what the component is. So the top tab navigator is positioned at the top of your app, and it allows user to switch between different screens by clicking. So in this example, let us use this top tab navigator. So click, drag and drop it to the screen. Is everyone following? So once you drop it on the screen, do you see automatically on top there is 4 additional screens: home, about, contact, settings, screen 1. And you can see here that this top tab navigator is being added. Are you all able to see? So if you click on preview, currently you may see I added something, but I don't see anything here also. So if you click on preview, there's a preview button here. It will show you the preview. So we can click. So this is how your screen is supposed to look like. Are you able to see that in your preview? Would you like to see the same thing on your phone?
Not yet.
Sorry?
Not yet.
Which one?
The top for icons.
You are not seeing that? Let me see. So do you see this on your phone? This is on Thunkable Live, right? This is what you're supposed to see. Home, about, contact, setting. Of course, so now you see either you can tap on top on the icon, it will change, or you can just swipe using a finger. It will say it will change. Okay? So let us go back here. Now I want to delete the screen 1. I don't need the screen 1. So if you go to the component here, if you click on screen 1, do you see at the end there is this icon, delete icon? Click on that. So it will say that you can't undo. Of course, just click delete. So here by default there are 4 tabs. I don't need 4 tabs. So likewise, let's delete the setting tab. and also let's delete the contact tab. So which leaves you with two tabs, home and about, right? So now if you see on the component tree here, home is the component which is been highlighted, right? So which means that's active, and you will see the property of the home. Whatever component that you highlight on the left, that's a property of the component that you will see on the right. So let us change the name instead of home. So you see on the property here, there is the third icon which says rename. The third icon which highlights says rename. So click on that. Now you're allowed to change. So maybe we can type something as text to speech. So I'm using abbreviation. TXT means text, to means TO, actually to speech. Then you click enter. You see on top it changes, text to speech, and whatever change that you do, you will be able to see in your Thunkable Live. Do you see that? Actually a change. So what actually we're trying to do is we're trying to have our first app which able to speak. So do you see whatever changes that you did, it has effects on the app Thunkable Live. Now let us click the second one, which is about. Again we want to change the name, so click on rename. If anyone is lost, please raise your hand and let me know. This one we want to change from speech to text. Enter. So one tab is to convert text to speech, another one which will convert speech to text. So whatever changes that you did, now you should be able to see here. Is everyone okay? Okay, good. Now if you see on this icon, there is this home icon, and then this is actually about icon. So let's try to change the icon. It's not so matching with the text to speech, right? So let's go back here. So let us click, either you can click on the component or you can click on the screen here on top. So text to speech, so you can see the property of text to speech. The first tab is the property that we want to change. So you can see here all the properties, background color, background picture, and things like that, scrollable, padding, border. So all those things that you're able to see. Now if you scroll down even further, do you see this tab navigation icon? Did you notice that? Currently there is an icon already. So active tab icon. So this is icons 8. Let's see if you can go to, so open up another. So there are a few ways that you can actually do this. One, you can type icons8.com, icons8.com. You can log in using your Google also. Then you can click on icons. This is a very famous icons8, icons8.com. So did you manage to click on icon? So here there's an option. So we can type speech to text, for example, and then you click search. So it will give all icons which are related to speech to text. Is there any nice icon? Let's see, any icon, speech to text. Oh, sorry, it's supposed to be text to speech. Our first one is text to speech, right? Yeah, text to speech. Sorry, my bad. This one supposed to be text to speech. So you have this icon like the first one, text to speech. If you click on this icon, is it copy? Yes? In icons8.com? How come you don't have? So this is one way of using icons8.com is a very famous site that you can use to get icons. So let's say, for example, a text to speech we have here, right? Then do you see this copy? So if you click on this copy, there is this link to, let me see what's the link. Let me copy this one first and see what's the link. Is it the right link? Okay, good. So when you click on copy, do you see there is this link to PNG? Do you see that? So just click on it. It will copy. Then go back to your Thunkable. Do you see this active tab icon? Click X, so it will remove, and then you Control V. So now you should see the icon change. Did it change? So text to speech icon is changed. Is that okay? Likewise, we want to do for speech to text. So this is one way. Yes? Didn't change. This icons8.com. This is where you can get a lot of icons, and you can use it for free. And very famously, if you are developing a website and things like that, you can actually use this. So let's see for this course, if we have time, then we'll try to do a little bit of HTML if we have time. We'll try and see. Another option is, let's go to Google search. Then you just type here speech to text. So just type speech to text and then go to images. So you see there's a lot of speech to text icon. Put speech to text icon. Actually, the earlier logo doesn't seem like. Wait, this is actually. It actually looks like speech to text, right? So I think this one, we put it for the other one. So for the text to speech, we copy and use it for speech to text. So go under edit, go to speech to text. So we preview. Why it's not updating? So earlier one, we copy and use it for speech to text. I think speech to text, this is much more relevant. Yeah, speech to text. because the icon looks like from speech converts to text, right? So we use for the second one. So we will change the text to speech. Is everyone okay? So let's try to change the text to speech. Okay, another option is if you don't want to use the icons8.com, you can also use it. You can straight away just search for the icon. So let's go text to speech icon. Text to speech icon. So here much more better, right? This looks like from a text to speech. So here there's one icon, the first one, but this is the color icon. No problem. No problem with the color icon. So what we do is, you can choose whatever icon that you want, but this looks correct, right? It's from text to speaker, so it looks like text to speech. So what you do is, you right click on the image. You right click on any image of your choice. And then do you see that there is this copy image address? Copy image address, the image address. So you click on copy image address. Then you go back to your Thunkable. Make sure you go back to your text to speech. Go back to edit. So go back to your text to speech screen. And then under the active tab icon, remove the existing one, then you Control V, you paste. So here, one of the way in terms of the icon is you can straight away just put in the URL, the address of that icon. So now if you preview, you will see that you have one icon which is color. Do you see on your phone? There? Color, slight color. Any issues up to this point? Dot, it will be in red color. See that? Do you see the dotted line? It's red in color is recording. Okay, let's go back to edit. Now we will do this one element and we will try to add some functionality block to it to see some effect. Then we'll just end the class a bit early today because I have another event. So currently what we have done so far is we have added a navigator that allows you to navigate between two pages, right? You can see there's two pages that you have, but currently the pages are empty, right? You're able to navigate between these two pages, but the pages are empty. So let us work on the text to speech page first. So make sure you are in the text to speech. So if you see on the components palette on the left bottom under the user interface, so expand the user interface. The first one you will see is button. Do you see that? Drag and drop the button onto the screen. So when you drag and drop in the button, make sure it is at the text to speech. So on your phone in the Thunkable Live, you should be able to see also the button being added. So you can see on the component tree, button is highlighted, so which means the property will be showing on this particular component's property. So let's change the name of the buttons. Components, make sure you name it properly so that you know what these components are for. So let's rename this button. This is text to speech. Are you using abbreviation? I'm using a lot of abbreviation, text to speech. Are you able to see? Text to speech BTN is button. I've enlarged it a bit. Can you see? Text to speech button. I've enlarged it. Why is it important for us to change the naming convention so that we know what the component is for. If you don't rename it button 1, button 2, button 3, if you have a complex app, then you will be wondering what is this button 1 for, what is button 2 for, what is button 3. So the naming convention is important. So here why we put text to speech button, because in the other page, the other screen, we also may have some other buttons, but we want to know which button, what this button is for. So that's why the naming convention is important. Is everyone okay? So under this property you will see the text. So this text is whatever text that you want it to appear in the button. So we can change this to, what shall we change? Sorry, click to hear me. So when you do click to hear me, it changes in Thunkable Live. So if you want to change much more better, click to hear me speak, for example. And here in Thunkable, you are free to change the font size, the color. You can change the background color, whatever color that you want. You see, you can actually change whatever color that you want. Feel free to actually explore. Okay, so you can change whatever that you want. Text color, font size, background color. So all these things you can actually try to play around. So if you see that, now you can see there's click to hear me speak. But if you click, does anything happen? No, does nothing happen. If you click on your app, on your Thunkable Live app, if you click, it just gives the effect of like as if it's clicked right, but nothing happens. Why nothing happens? Because we have not added any functionality to this button. Therefore, you click also nothing happens because there's no function added to this button. Is that okay? So let us add some function to this button. So before we add a function to this button, what we can actually try to do is we need to go back to the components tab. Go back here under the components tab. So you have user interface, you have layout. Do you see under the category of voice? Do you see under the category voice there is text to speech? If you click on the question mark, there is the text to speech simply takes in text and reads it out aloud. So we are going to use this component text to speech. Click and drag and drop to the screen. Click and drag, drop to the screen. So once you drag and drop to the screen, you will notice that the text to speech component appears at the bottom of the screen. And you see on the component tree, it appears under invisible component. Do you notice that? Text to speech comes under the invisible component. Why? Because text to speech is not a graphic user interface. Like button, why is known as the user interface? Because it allows the user to interface with the program. But text to speech has invisible component, so that's why it comes under the invisible component. Is that okay? Yes. So under the voice category, do you see the voice category? There is this text to speech. So click and drag and drop to the screen. So once you click and drag and drop to the screen, you will see at the bottom here text to speech. And you can see under the invisible component, do you see this? Under the invisible component there is text to speech 1. Is that okay? So now we have the basic component for us to make our first app to speak, which is one, we have button, and second is we need the text to speech component. Are you now ready to add the functionality? So in terms of when you preview, this is how your app will look like. You'll have text to speech. So currently the button is in text to speech screen. So there's only one button. If you click, nothing happens because no functionality. Okay. Don't try to click too much, nothing will happen. So now in order for us to add functionality, currently we are in the design tab. We need to click on the blocks tab. So click on the block. So when you click on the block, you will see which screen block that is highlighted, which is text to speech, sorry. And you see this empty canvas, right? Nothing there. Then you can see on the left here, there's a lot of built-in functions already. And do you see at the bottom here? These are the components that we have added. So the first thing that we want to do is, we have a button which is the user interface. So we want to add an action function to that button. What did we name our button? Text to speech button. Do you understand why now the naming convention is important? Because if you don't name it properly, you will see button 1, button 2, button 3, button 4, button 5. Then you might be wondering what is button 2 for, what is button 1 for. But if you name it correctly, you know the text to speech button. So let's click on this text to speech button. Click on this text to speech button, because we want, whenever you click on this, you will be able to see the blocks that are affiliated with this button, the actions that you can do or functionality that you can add to this button. So we want to use the first one, which is when text to speech button is clicked, then we want it to do something. Are you all okay? So click on this one, keep pressing on your mouse, drag and drop. Is that on okay? So when text to speech, so the logic is this, it's quite easy for you to actually read. When text to speech button is clicked, do something. So what we want it to do is, we want it to speak. Do you remember what is the component that allows it to speak? It is known as text to speech, right? Where is the component? It is here. So click on text to speech. So when you click on text to speech, the first one, so whenever you hover your cursor on top of a block, it actually tells what block you need to do. So we're going to use the first one. So drag and put it here, so you can hear the click sound. So what this will do, when text to speech button is clicked, you do what? You call the text to speech to speak. Speak what? Speak the following text, which is hello. So if you want to change this, so you can change it as however you want.
Did you manage to do?
Sorry.
Did you manage to do your first app?
So I'm pressing for my Thunkable app.
Did you manage to do your first app?
So please reply me from your app.
Did
This
you
is my
manage
question to
do
you.
your first app?
So answer from your app. Yes, I have one response. Yes.